As we know, Rowell looked at endangered species and created these massive, large-scale murals showing loads of tone and texture. This is what we want to try and do with our own endangered British species. We're going to choose one of these to draw and use mark making to really show that tone, texture and detail to get an accurate drawing from the imagery. So I've decided that I'm going to look at this barn owl. We split the page in half. Now what I would do is I would make sure that the drawing was close to the actual resource. So whether it's on your phone or whether it's on a worksheet, move it close by. The first thing we need to do is mark out to indicate the size. So roughly where the top is and where the bottoms of the feet are going to go. Okay, and let's get a little indication of the width as well. Okay, once we've done that, we can start to build up the overall shape. So what I would do is, if you look here, it's almost like an oval shape. So I would pick out the oval shape, and I'm doing it nice and lightly, lots of lines. Okay, I'm looking at how the line comes out here to create sort of the shoulder almost, how it comes down there, and I'm looking at how this section here curves out and around. Okay, from there I can start to bring in some of these angles of the ears on here, and I can start to look at roughly the shapes of things like the beaks, the main features and the eyes. Obviously I can make corrections as I go along. The feet, I'm just going to put little lines just to suggest the direction, as if I was doing the sort of the skeleton structure first, and then I can start to build up the details over the top of that. Looking at where each of these different details go. Okay. Here I'm starting to add more detail with my pencil, thinking about where different sections have got structure, where I might add more detail, where I might plot out some little bits of marks, ready to apply the pen. You can see here that I'm starting to apply those marks, those directional little bits of dots, dashes, shading, hatching, and I'm playing around with the pressure that I'm also putting onto the surface so I can get some lighter tonal marks. You can see that I'm constantly looking at the image that I'm drawing from, and that I'm starting to redefine and alter shapes as I go along. I go around the outline of the shapes and then start to bring in the detail. I'm curving different marks to show the form, to make it more directional, and gradually building up that tone at the edges, which shows the owl curving around and making it look 3D. You can see I flit around from place to place, just building up the details as I go. The mind map and the drawing then sit together nicely in the book to tell that introductory story.